What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. Today, we have a special edition where we're going to be reacting to the NBA All-Star selections, including the reserves who were just announced tonight. We're going to take a look at everybody that made the team and some of those who should have. All that and much more coming your way right now. All right, Nick, well, the NBA All-Star game, the All-Star rosters have been announced. Tonight we got the reserves, and we've got some big names on here.
Yeah, we for sure do. And I think that for the most part, this is a solid list. There's only a couple names that I can really point out that I have a problem with, but for the most part, all of these are right on the money. And I have to say, this is exactly what an all-star list should look like. I think the NFL should take some notes. I think that this is going to be a fun game to watch.
No, I agree. And I think we should just get right down into it. We're looking at the Western Conference. We've got Chris Paul, Paul George, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Zion Williamson, and Anthony Davis, who is currently injured. Out of this list, Nick, who do you think deserved to be on the list? Like, who absolutely deserved to be here?
I really like Chris Paul. I think that this guy has been so undervalued the last few years. Ever since he left Los Angeles, he has not been regarded as one of the best, if not the best, point guard in the NBA. And he has been proving wherever he's going that he is still an elite player. And he's proving that now that he's with the Phoenix Suns, he's brought a team that was on the brink of making the playoffs a year ago to now competing against the Clippers and the Lakers in the West.
Yeah, I mean, put some respect on his name, you know. I'm going to take a look at Damian Lillard. I think Damian Lillard deserves to be not only an all-star, but I made the case that he should have been an NBA all-star starter. I mean, Damian Lillard has been the absolute spark plug for this Portland Trailblazer franchise. He leads them year in and year out to consistently trying to get over the hump. And listen, what Damian Lillard has done on and off the court is absolutely spectacular. I can only give him so many props, but at the end of the day, I'm very happy that he made it on this list. I don't think there was really a question about these two guys making it. As for a question mark, I'm going to start off with Zion Williamson. I just don't understand why Zion Williamson ended up making this roster. I believe that there were plenty of other players that were more notably available to make this roster than Zion Williamson. I believe that he made it simply on his name value.
He for sure did, and honestly, he's not even the best player on his own team. Brandon Ingram was well more deserving of this award. He deserved to be in the All-Star game. And I think that this is, again, like you said, Williamson is a name value, and he has, even though he's playing the entire season so far, he's still not living up to the name value coming out of college. I think that you got to take a step back and look what he's done for New Orleans Pelicans. It's just lackluster, and it's not deserving of being an all-star.
No, I agree. And to note, just some of the snubs that we have for the Western Conference: Mike Conley from the Utah Jazz. We have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from the Oklahoma City Thunder, De'Aaron Fox from the Sacramento Kings, and by far and away the biggest snub of the night, Devin Booker, the guard from the Phoenix Suns. There is no absolute effing reason this guy should be left off of the NBA All-Star roster. There's just no way. And I understand what's going to happen. They voted in Anthony Davis, who is currently injured, and then Devin Booker's going to take his spot. But he should have been nominated as a player that should have been on this list before that. If you're going to add in Zion Williamson, let him be the injury replacement. You're basically slapping Devin Booker in the face for everything that he's been able to do with the Phoenix Suns. It's absolutely despicable what the NBA has done here, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
And I think what's funny is, if we haven't talked about the East yet, but Zach LaVine made the reserves for the East. If we look at Devin Booker, he's been doing exactly what Zach LaVine's doing and then some for his entire career, and has not gotten the credit he deserves. Devin Booker in his entire career has been completely undervalued and not been credited with everything he's accomplished. It's downright disrespectful.
If this man doesn't find the cure for cancer and cure world hunger, he simply may not end up making an NBA All-Star team. It's just that crazy. I don't know what else he has to do. But let's move over to the Eastern Conference, where we take a look at the names. We're going to take a look at the reserves here. James Harden, Julius Randle, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine, Ben Simmons, and Nikola Vucevic. Out of these names, which one makes the most sense to you?
I really enjoy Julius Randle making the cut for the All-Star Reserves. I think that he has been a shining point for the New York Knicks this season, and has truly shown that he is a great power forward and has truly been dominant this season. Very well deserving of making the reserves in the All-Star game this year.
No, I agree. And, as a bright spot for probably the both of us, I take Jaylen Brown, what he's been able to do with the Boston Celtics. He has continued to grow year over year. Every single year he's been in the league, he's just gotten that much better. But I actually want to take it away from our favorite team. Nikola Vucevic is the guy that I want to focus on here. What he has been able to do with the Orlando Magic is nothing short of spectacular. When you take a look at this Orlando Magic team, and Nick, you and I have both seen them. I saw them against the Houston Rockets, and you saw them in their home stadium in Orlando. They're absolutely terrible. I mean, just downright despicably terrible. And the only bright spot for them is Nikola Vucevic. So for him to earn this honor is pretty remarkable and very deserving.
Yeah, and even watching him in person, Nikola Vucevic is amazing, but you can tell he's just so disinterested because he doesn't have any surrounding talent. There's nothing motivating him on the court, and he starts off hot in his games, and he has his games where he's just on fire the entire time, but he would be on fire all the time if he had other talent around him to not only take some pressure off, but to motivate him also.
Sounds like Danny Ainge needs to get on the phone. I'm sorry, who said that? But, coming back to what we're here for, I want to take a look at one name that I truly believe does not belong on this list, and that's Ben Simmons. And you can make the argument that he could be an all-star, but I'm going to make the argument that he just hasn't done enough. The 76ers are literally being led by Joel Embiid, and while Embiid is a starter for the Eastern Conference, and while he is being perceived as being in the MVP conversation, Ben Simmons just simply has not done enough to me to warrant being on this all-star roster. I believe that he just simply is holding them back, and there's a reason that Philadelphia has looked to trade him in the last few weeks, because they're saying, you know what, I don't believe that he is championship worthy. I think Ben Simmons is going to end up taking a back seat here in Philadelphia, and I don't believe he should have been on this roster.
A guy that I would have loved to see on this list instead of Ben Simmons is Trey Young. Trey Young has been fantastic for the Atlanta Hawks, and although they're not doing that great, he's showing up. He is putting up numbers just like James Harden, Kyrie, and Steph Curry, but he's not getting the credit, and Ben Simmons making it over him is just a complete slap in the face.
Absolutely. And you know what? Just to go over some of the other snubs that we have listed here, we're looking at Bam Adebayo in Miami. We're looking at Damontas Sabonis in Indiana and Tobias Harris on the 76ers. Tobias Harris has had a much better season in Philadelphia than Ben Simmons has. So the fact that his own teammate made it over him is absolutely disrespectful to Tobias Harris. But you're right. Trey Young is absolutely the best player in the East that didn't make this list. And I can't understand why a player like Ben Simmons made it over him. The argument can be made that either Ben Simmons, Julius Randle, one of these guys could have been swapped out for Trae Young because he's just that important. But overall, I'm pretty happy with these lists. Besides the ones that we said, Devin Booker absolutely deserved to be on this list, and I'm sure he'll get in as the injury replacement for Anthony Davis, which we all expect. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.